The Navigator's untimely demise would spell disaster for the voidship when making a warp jump. Whatever is happening on the other decks, it is imperative to reach the Navigator's sanctum and see what has happened to the vessel's warp guide.
Here, on the threshold of the blinded guide, doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abala, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlass, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
An alternate dimension of pure energy and madness existing as a mirror to real space, also known as the Immaterium, the Empyrean, the Ether, the Sea of Souls, or warp space. The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in. Deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer, standing before you. A diviner are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you are von Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
We must see if the Navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
A fallen piece of debris that Tilda almost proved fatal to. You, without Idira's prediction, you would have remained in this corridor forever. Who yield or falter in their courage will be executed in disgrace as traitors to this house and abettors of the enemies of humanity. Cast aside your doubts, for they are an open door to the person.
Closed ranks!
What? On it.
Out of my way!
All too easy. Opposing me was your biggest mistake. Already done. My tactics are flawless. Not a problem for me.
I will do, Mike. I took care of this one. Indeed. One fewer target.
Vespiatas, the creature in the chair, appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink, parchment, like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The Navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark gill, like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, the two ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits in the center of its forehead.
I believe Master Vespiatas still lives. Well, the servants are dead. But the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Address Idira. What is wrong with him?
Wounded. Exhausted. Fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
Your time is short.
Vespiatas, the Navigator stirs, barely able to lift his head. And half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of the third eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the Vox grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It is unclear how the Navigator is able to produce human speech. You are in need of help. We have to get you out of that chair. Are you all right?
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Vespiatas. Suddenly, the Navigator's body starts thrashing. In place, it lurches forward, then falls back onto the seat, then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and its skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impulses. The mutant remains seated, but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming two hideous screaming mouths like pits. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Ah! It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Dira's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature umps at the sight of the Navigator, succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption. You were wounded by the corrupted weapon, which led Toa, warp entity invading your mind. Wig.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
on of salvation within me. The Navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling, but then his fit stops abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a trickle into a stream mixed with the blood coming out of his nose, and there is purplish swelling around the eye.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Address Abelard, the Navigator is still alive, but barely. So, what do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
Vespidas, good luck. And thank you.
Vespiades, the Navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with bee blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the vox at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter.
None shall stand in my way. I won't tolerate weakness.
The Navigator's sanctum is the private haven of the ships, guide through the warp, and a death trap for anyone left inside after translation to the Immaterium.
It's about time.
The door does not budge, clots of viscous flesh have entangled the metal, sealing the door shut.
Your ship's as good as ours! It's all over for you!
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these...
I shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My God, my light, my Emperor.
Argenta, the white-haired warrior, turns to face her. Dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hands, and for a brief moment, it seems she is not going to stop and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face. It is unfamiliar. Who are you?
Hecata von Valentius, the Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
A malign metaphysical force composed of psychic energy that exists in an alternate dimension, known as the Warp.
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
I am no traitor, sister. You can be sure of that.
If you speak truthfully, the Emperor will not forsake you. If you are lying, you will not escape his retribution. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic!
Lore Imperium succeeded what is a warrior of the Adepta Sororitas doing aboard a rogue trader's ship. Your orders serve the ecclesiarchy, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation. Under more appropriate circumstances.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
We must get to the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
The explosion blasted a hole through the door, large, enough for a person to get.
Don't you dare to cross us!
You'll make a suitable sacrifice!
Victory is imminent. I took care of this one. One fewer target.
Doubt is for the weak. Each strike is a prayer. Faith without deeds, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Death to non-believers!
Will do. Be gone! Forge ahead! Nothing I can't. You didn't stand a chance. Let's see how they respond to this. All too
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
Any challenge for me?
Titles and authors are printed in gold on the spines of the books. The library contains works on Imperium theology, law codices, biographical sketches, and chronicles of the greatest military conflicts of the Coronus Expanse and the Calixis sector. An exact replica of the Von Valancius voidship sits on the pedestal. Labels indicate the main compartments and decks of the vessel. I.
Follow my lead!
I.
Victory awaits. I'll lay claim to the stars.